We're talking relationships. It is Melissa Ferrari, David Prior with you when dating apps that are based on attraction emerged. That's simply swiping left or right to find a match. People were a little sceptical at first, of course. But fast forward 4 or 5 years and 15% of Australia's population are apparently now using Tinder every day. 15%. So with such a large pool of people, you'd want to be making sure your profile is turning heads, or turning thumbs at least, in the right direction. Denny Jones is a professional dating coach from the School of Attraction who says he's put the app through the ringer in order to work out how to get the best results. He's got those results, and we're going to share them right now with you at home here on Talking Relationships. Denny, g'day. How are you doing, mate?
Hi,
good.
Denny.
Very good. Very good to be here. Thanks, guys.
Wonderful. So, Denny, you have put together your 50 tips for writing profiles, and it's fabulous. So, tell us a little bit about why you put that together.
Well, at first, just the fact that I was dating and as well as a dating coach, I felt like it's one of those things that I had to be doing. I looked at the numbers, and it was, at its start, it wasn't too popular, but it gained popularity so quickly. I just thought at that projection I'd be stupid not to get on top of this and really figure it out. So it was part personal and part professional as well.
Okay, so have these tips been published yet? Are they out there? Are they ready?
Yeah, they are ready. We're doing a pre-release, so this is I'm putting it out there to everyone who wants to get a download before I put it onto Amazon. I just want to get a bit of a feel as to who's out there and who's wanting this. Just get my toe in the water, pretty much.
Okay, so are you prepared to share some of those tips with us tonight?
I am. Look, I think the biggest thing is just a little warning before we get into Tinder. I think Tinder itself is it's not real life in so many ways. You're pretty much the magazine cover of who you are through Tinder. So a lot of people misrepresent themselves, and that's why I'm addressing this book. They misrepresent themselves when it comes to Tinder and dating profiles, and then they base their own confidence on those misrepresentations. And that can be a little bit damaging. So I'm just putting this free information out there so everybody can represent themselves as best they can online. I know it's tough sometimes. But, we'll start with the first one, which is the photos, especially your first photo. I think because men swipe in one direction whilst women tend to swipe in the other direction equally as fast, the first photo is everything. Don't you agree?
Yes, absolutely. That first photo is the first impression.
That's right, and it can make or break you. It doesn't matter how many other photos you have that are amazing or how good your tagline is, or whether you're a pilot or whatever that is.
Yep.
If your first photo isn't representing you the best, that's going to really let you down.
So I'm imagining you've got some suggestions on what that first photo should look like.
Yeah, that's right. Look, your first photo should obviously show your head clearly. Show your face clearly. I tell my boys that I teach, a smile is everything. It says I'm not too intimidating. I'm not too into myself. It says I'm approachable and friendly. I think a smile really is the sticker on most confident men, and people tend to, especially women, tend to react well to that.
Yeah.
Should they have their shirts on or their shirts off, Denny?
Definitely on. Definitely on. I think
Be a gentleman about it.
we spoke about it. I think we slightly touched on this last time we spoke about shirtless selfies, but yeah, that's definitely not what you want to be doing. I think you have to have the confidence, but slash a little bit of humility as well.
Yeah.
These photos come across. You have to be genuine. I know it's tough to be genuine in these shots, and people tend to be a bit goofier or just don't know what to do in front of the camera. But these have to feel as natural as possible.
For some women, that would actually be off-putting to see a guy with his shirt off. Would you agree?
Well, look, it can happen in two ways. And the first way is the guys who are in the mirror doing selfies or at the gym with their shirts up. That's a big, big no-no. It says you're too much into yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just not. It's like gives you that yucky feeling, The girls are like, ew, So definitely not. But let's just say you're a surfer and it's an action shot. well, you just expected to not have your shirt off there. So, look, it's one of those things that if it seems like a bit of a passive representation of your body, if you have one, that's good. That's okay too.
But standing there with the arm out at the mirror in the bathroom, that's really not a good look.
No, not at all.
Oh, I had to ask, Denny. I just had to ask.
I know. I just imagine you at home, testing those ones out.
Yeah. So in terms of like taglines and things like that, what do you think looks good there in terms of how you represent yourself, Denny?
Well, every single availability we have to represent ourselves is something that we should really capitalize on. So taglines, obviously the first photo's got a big tick from the female, and then you dive into your tagline, and it has to really be part humorous, part insight, and part, I think, easygoing. There are so many people out there demanding things from the opposite sex, and it's just not a good thing to come off as must be this, do not like this.
Sounding like what you're saying is, Denny, that you need a bit of cleverness, hey, to do this. You really have to sit back and think about what is a clever way to represent myself and package it up in a few words in a way that captures the person that has swiped onto you and is having a little bit of a read. And so it's something that needs to be done fairly mindfully, hey?
Yeah, well, it just has to give that person insight into who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of my students ask me, should I put something really funny here? But they're not funny people, Slightly humorous and self-deprecating is great.
Yep.
Because if you're self-deprecating, it's actually a double-edged sword. You can say, hey, look, I'm confident enough to bag myself out.
Yeah.
So that's a good type of humor to use if you're not naturally very, very funny. I think it's one of those things that if you can't carry off once you get into a conversation, there's going to be that disconnect there. So you want to be congruent with what you're saying up front and how you follow through with your conversation.
Some of your other tips is no children in the photo?
Yeah, well, look, it's strange. I think a lot of women are very territorial when it comes to those things. And when it comes to your love life, I know, children are important, but you're getting to know that person first and foremost, before children come into it. So represent yourself first, and then, if that person's worthy of your time, open up.
Because that person's got to work out where they fit into the picture, and so if there's too many people in the picture, it could put them off. It's like, where would I fit? Where would I fit into all of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And I just think that's too much too soon as well.
Yeah.
I think the same way in which you would approach someone in the middle of the street, if you wanted to talk to them, you wouldn't, as soon as you see them, pull out a picture of the children. Do you know what I mean? You just start a conversation naturally. So I just think it's got to happen that way.
And what about your puppy? Can they be in the photo?
Puppies, I think...
Score. Girls love it, don't they?
They certainly do.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, and I think it's even my flatmate. She's like, I think I dated a guy just because he had a dog. and then when he said he didn't have the dog anymore, he goes, she said, do you have access to other dogs?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, so tell us a few more tips. I think you had one on there about if animals, like there's certain photos with animals that you shouldn't put on.
Yeah, look, as you know, women are very sympathetic, very empathetic. We look at the world through different eyes. I think when let's just say you go to Thailand and you have a photo with a drugged up animal, you're going to invoke not good emotions. Like you're going to invoke things that are not nice in the woman, and then you're going to look like someone who doesn't care for animals. And,
very much so.
Yeah, and it's those small things that count.
Exactly, it does count. It counts a lot. And I think as well, like as men, we grow up having to sometimes feel like we need to be hyper masculine. Those photos of dead animals or get the out and things like that, and that's just not real life.
No, they're a turn-off, aren't they?
Yeah, well, unless you live in Texas or, you're somewhere in the Middle East where you're shooting for a living where you need that, and that's something that, looks appropriate for that space.
Yeah.
Some Alaskan bush girl that you're after, maybe. Yeah.
So, Danny, I have a question for you specifically because, while you know that I also work with a lot of people in dating, you're very, very specific about how you work. Do you think certain personalities fit more being on Tinder and certain other personalities fit more of sort of talking to a girl, casually where they meet more organically in the street or pizza shop or whatever? Do you think different personalities suit different styles?
100%. If you're I'll just give you two good examples. Let's just say that you are very much an extrovert, and you have a good presence, but you might have difficulty, or maybe you're dyslexic when it comes to writing. You're not going to translate well through an app that pretty much depends on you being able to write and communicate well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe a face-to-face is more suited.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've assessed guys' Tinder profiles and didn't realise that this person I was speaking to had writing issues, and I could see why now he wasn't converting. Because when he met me, I was like, "Wow, your presence is excellent." Why aren't you just talking to women on the street or at a bar?
Wow.
So, yeah, you have to look at the tools and go, does that suit me? Is it really representing me well?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Where can
Denny?
we find some more of those tips, Denny?
Well, you find so if you go onto our website at School of Attractions, that's schoolofattraction.com.au, there might be a little pop-up there after a few seconds that will give you the book. Just to drop your email in.
Fantastic, mate.
And I think it's very, very generous of you, Denny, because I've had a look at all the 50 tips and I really do recommend that everybody have a look at it.
Yeah, well, look, I think that's only the first step when it comes to, creating attraction with people, representation, same way you walk down the street with your clothes ironed,
Absolutely. Look, thank you so much, Denny.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk again soon here on Talking Relationship.